Morning everyone, welcome to your 45-minute open reformer. My name's Dari and I'll be taking your class today. Before we start, does anyone have any injuries they should let me know about, how their body is feeling? Perfect. And Abby, you said you were new to the reformer, so I'm just going to go through the reformer quickly. Jenna, I'm going to use your bed. Here we have the reformer bed. This is the carriage. Here we have the shoulder blocks, and in between we have this headrest. I'm just going to pop out the platform extender. We have our springs here. I'll always explain what springs are on. There'll always be spring options. Over here we have the straps. We have a long loop and a short loop. I'll always specify which loop we are using. And then over here where the squishy pad is, this is the platform and this is the foot bar. Perfect. Now, let's just get our bed set up for some footwork and some bridges. So the base is a double red. The base is a double red and a yellow. The challenge is double red and a blue. Perfect. And I just invite you to lie back on the carriage, head between the headrests, find somewhere where your feet are comfortable, and we're just going to find a moment of stillness before today's class. So I just want you to take one breath in. Feel free to shutter your eyes. Breathe into the ribs, the side of the belly, and breathe out. On your next breath, let's set our intention for today's class. You maybe came here to feel stronger. You maybe came here to feel more relaxed. Whatever that intention is, let's just remember it. Good, just deep breaths here. Good. Let's take our last breath in, hold it there, and a deep sigh out. Now we're gonna start some leg presses. So I just invite you to put your heels on the foot bar, hip width apart, and let's just begin to press in and out. Good. Today's focus is full body. So we'll be working every muscle group, and there'll always be options and modifications. So you can take anything, you can leave it. This is like a choose your own adventure for today. Good. Now with this movement, we're not going to lock the knees at the top. We want to maintain constant tension in the legs. Good. Can I just check with your springs? They're connected. There we go. Good. Now, can we find halfway of that press and just work that top half of the press? Good. So we stop at that halfway point. Good. Now let's find halfway and pulse. That pulse is just an inch higher, an inch lower. Good. Another 10. Can you make that pulse at a lower point? Good. For 4, 3, 2, let's bring the bed in. And now let's place our toes on the foot bar and begin those leg presses on our toes. Now with this movement, I want you to think that you're wearing stiletto heels. So you're flexing those ankles and keeping them flexed. Good. Good. Great. Now let's work that halfway point again. So we find halfway, go all the way to the top, and then back to that halfway point. Again, we're not locking those knees at the top. We're maintaining constant tension. Great. Great, now let's do those pulses. Let's find halfway, an inch higher, an inch lower. Good. Can you flex those ankles a little bit more? Nice, you're wearing those high heels. Good, for another 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Now let's bring that carriage back in. We're going to lift that left leg to tabletop. And now we're going to start a single leg press. So still on your toes, wearing that high heel. I'm going to press in and out. So we're keeping that leg in tabletop. Great. So we're going to just have our hips down. Okay. Oh, good. Great. Now, if you want more of a challenge, can you straighten that leg and lift and lower as you press? Great. Good. Good. Remember, we're keeping that ankle flexed. We want to be wearing that high heel. Good. Pressing those toes into the foot bar. Good. Now let's find halfway and we're pulsing. Let's go. Just an inch higher, an inch lower. This is a small movement. Good. Can you keep that ankle flexed? Can you maybe straighten that leg a little bit more? Great. For 2 and 1. Nice. Straighten all the way out the carriage, bend back in, and let's just swap legs. So let's bring that right leg to tabletop. Left toes are on the foot bar, and let's begin that leg press. That left toe is wearing that high heel. Great. Good. Good. Great. Now, if you want more of a challenge, let's start those lifts and lowers. So you straighten that right leg. Good. We're lifting and lowering. Good. Now, let's just find that halfway and pulse an inch high, an inch lower. Good. This is your last for this series. Can you sit a little bit lower in that squat? Nice. 3, 2, and 1. Nice. Now, I'm just going to hand you a squishy ball, and we're going to pop this between our knees. So heels are now on the foot bar, ball is between the knees, and we're going to begin a bridge. Now let's slowly articulate the spine all the way up, vertebrae by vertebrae. Hold it for a second, and down, upper back, middle back, lower back. Good. Keeping these bridges slow and controlled. That carriage is parked the entire time, so there's little to no movement. Great. Now, if you'd like more of a challenge, you can extend your arms up into the sky. Palms are facing inwards. Energy sending through those fingertips. Good. Great. Now, let's layer in one ball squeeze at the top. So as you come to the top, squeeze that ball. I want you to try and make it a pancake. Great. Great. So can we just try move the heels to the foot bar, so lift your feet a little bit higher? Great. Good. These bridges are slow, they're looking so strong. Good. Now let's meet at the top and let's just do those ball squeezes. So can we squeeze in and out, in and out? Nice. Can you lift those hips a little bit higher? They stay high. Nice. For 10, let's go. Just in and out, in and out. Can you straighten those arms more for 5, 4, 3, 2. Hold at the top and we're just going to do those little hip pulses. So hips hinge back and down. Good. Up and down, little hip hinges. You're keeping that ball squeezed. Nice. For 10, 8. Good. Can you send those hips a little bit higher? Good. It's a small movement. For 3, 2, and 1. Nice. Come all the way down, upper back, middle back, lower back. You can just take that ball out in your hands and windscreen wiper those legs. Great. Great. Now let's go into a crunch series. So we're going to place that ball between the ankles and bring those legs to tabletop. Great. 90-degree ankle. And now let's just begin a crunch. So you can have those hands behind your head or at your temples, wherever feels comfortable. You might want to shuffle out of those shoulder blocks. And let's just begin. Inhale, exhale, lift. Engage that core on the exhale. Great. Good. Now, for more of a challenge, maybe you could do a leg extension at the top of that crunch. So it's 2 movements. Curl, extend those legs out, bring them back in, go down. Nice. And good. Remember that breath. Great. Good. Great. Let's do a few more and then we're meeting at that leg extension. So let's go for another 4, 3, 2. Now let's meet at the top, hold that crunch, extend those legs. Can we bring our arms to our hips and begin our hundreds? So let's pretend you're bouncing those mini basketballs, okay? Let's breathe in for 4, 3, 2, 1. Breathe out for 4, 3, 2, 1. Could you lower those legs any more? Can you bounce those mini basketballs? There's energy sending through those arms as well as those legs. Let's breathe in for 4, 3, 2, 1. Out for 4, 3, 2, 1. In for 4, 3, 2, 1. Out for 4, 3, 2, 1. Let's go one more time. In for 4, 3, 2, 1. Out for 4, 3, 2, 1. Nice. Great. Now, take whatever break you need. We're going to set up for the next move. So this is going to be a standing lunge split series. So we're going to set the springs. Blue is the base, yellow is the challenge. And we're also going to lower our foot bar all the way down. So if you need help with that, I can. Great. We're just going to put it all the way down. Nice. And let's start by facing the road. So this way. Let's put platform foot comes up first. Great. Yeah, that's okay. And make sure you have that squishy ball in your hands. Great. So let's start with the side splits. So as we push the bed away, you can just hold that ball in one hand if you'd like. Your arms come out with the split. And then zip your body all the way back. Good. Try go to the furthest point you can. Now with this movement, we're keeping our tailbone tucked. It's like you're in 2 panels of glass. Everything is straight and tucked. Great. Good. Great. Exhale on that split. Inhale, return. This is really good for your adductor muscles, those inner thighs. On that zip up, you should really feel them squeeze. Now, for more of a challenge, on that split, we can pass the ball overhead and then swap that ball to go to the other hand as we come back. So we're switching the ball. Nice. So it passes at the top. Great. Good. So those ribs and pelvis are staying stacked. Great, looking so strong. Now let's hold out. Let's just hold that split. Can you hold it as far as you can go for 5, 4. Can you push out a little bit more? Great. 2 and 1. Nice. Now let's bring it in. Now we're going to lift that carriage heel. So the left foot, let's just go on our toes, and we're going to begin a side lunge. So what this looks like is we're just sinking into that platform leg and then coming all the way back up. Nice. So we're really hinging on that platform leg, and the other leg is just staying straight the entire time. Great. Good. Now if you just want a little bit more, let's do a ball squeeze at the bottom of that lunge. Squeeze the ball, then come back up. Good. Great, good depth, everyone. Now, let's add a rotation. So as you come down in the lunge, we're going to rotate towards the mirrors with that ball, bring it back in, then lunge up. So it's 2 movements. I want you to think about getting that elbow to the opposite knee. Great. Great. So I want you to try sink all the weight onto this side. Great. Yeah, nice. Nice. With that rotation, if you can see the mirror, just look at yourself in the mirror. Great, and come back down. Good. Great. Now we're going to layer in a scooter. So what that looks like is we rotate down, twist, come back to the front, scooter, and then come up. Nice. Good, yeah. Good. Now let's meet at the bottom of that lunge and just do the rotations. Can you sink a little bit lower and just rotate? Nice. Good. Remember that breath as you rotate. Exhale, inhale back. Another 5, 4, and we're going to hold that lunge. 3, 2. Now let's face the front, holding that lunge and just those scooters in and out. Good. Sink all that weight into the platform leg. Can you bend a little bit more? Push those hips further back and just those scooters. Nice. Remember you're on your toes for this. That heel is lifted. In and out. Good. 5, 4. Can you bend a little bit lower? Maybe you can squeeze that ball for another 3, 2, and 1. Nice. Shake it out. Now we're just going to go into a side kneeling series. So that ball can just pop off to the floor for now. We're going to kneel facing the road. Knees are against the shoulder blocks. And let's grab the short strap in the left arm. Sorry, we're going to kneel facing the road. Sorry, there you go. We're going to grab that short strap in our left arm, and we're just going to begin an internal rotation. So you can either start kneeling on your butt to start, or if you want to start in high kneeling, that's perfectly okay. Elbow is drawn to the waist, and we're just going to bring that hand over our stomach and back. Good. This is just to energize that shoulder for what we're going to do. We're warming it up. Try keep that elbow against the waist the entire movement. Good. That wrist is staying still. Let's just do another 5, 4. Keep those hips level. 2 and 1. Nice. Now let's just pop that strap down for a second, and you can adjust the springs if you'd like. Blue is the base. Blue, yellow is the challenge. Great. So now we're going to grab that strap in the same arm again, so short strap in the left arm, and we're going to begin to hug the moon. So what this looks like is that we have a micro bend, and we're going to pretend we're hugging a big beach ball, and then letting go of that beach ball. Nice. So with this movement, keep that tailbone tucked under. Great. And those elbows are in line with the shoulders the entire time. We're not letting them drop. Good. There's a lot of space between your ears and the shoulders. We're not letting those shoulders creep up. Great. Can we just lift the shoulders a little bit? Perfect. Good. We're keeping that micro bend in those arms and hugging that massive beach ball, giving it a big hug. Exhale on the hug of the beach ball. Inhale, prepare. Good. Now, at any moment, if this feels too much, the long loop is there as a modification. Perfect. And if you need your springs changed, just wave down and I can do that. Great. Now, can we add in a rotation? So as we hug the ball, we rotate towards the foot bar, bring it back. Now that rotation is only in those ribs. We're not rotating those hips as well, so just in the ribs. Great. On the rotation, can we exhale? Then bring inhale. Nice, looking so strong. Just a few more. Good. Now, let's hold that rotation and just pulse into it. Just for 10, let's pulse into that rotation. It's a little movement in those hips. Pulse towards that foot bar. Good. For 5, 4, can you lift those elbows a little bit more? Can you drop those shoulders? For 2 and 1, nice. Now come down, you can shake out for a second, and we're gonna swap the strap into the other arm, so the right arm is in the short strap. And let's just begin those rotations again. So this time it's an external rotation, so we're just gonna bring that arm out while that elbow is in the waist, and back in. Nice. You feel this in the back of the arm as well. Nice. Good. Now let's begin to draw the sword. So what this looks like is the arm will draw across your body, draw it up all the way into a straight diagonal line, and then bring it back. If you'd like to add a hip hinge, feel free. So as the arm comes up, the hips come up. As it draws down, the hips go back. Good. As you straighten that arm to the sky, exhale. Hold it there for just 1 second, and then bring it back. Good. So maybe you just bring your knees a little bit forward and you'll get more stability there. Great. Great. Just a few more, and then we're gonna meet at the top of that hold. So another 3, you've got this. Another 2. Let's send it back and then bring it up. And now hold it at the top, let's go. Can you face those knuckles to the sky, drop those shoulders a little bit, tuck that tailbone under. Good, you've only got another 5, 4, can you straighten that arm a little bit more? 2 and 1, nice. Great. So now the springs are gonna go back to what we started with. Blue as the base, yellow as a challenge. And we're gonna begin a plank series before we move everything to the other side. So forearms will go in the carriage, and feet will go on the platform. Now you can either hold the shoulder blocks or put your arms in like a V, whatever feels comfortable for you. And now let's just press out into a plank. Good. Nice. Now let's begin some knee tucks. So bend those knees in, hips don't sink, hips go low, nice, and out. Great. Nice. Great. Shoulders are over those elbows. Nice. You've got this. Now, can we layer in a pike? So we do 1 knee tuck, 1 pike. Your body folds in half, then back to that knee tuck. On that pike, I want you to imagine that there's a piece of string on that lower back, and you're a puppet. So all I'm doing is pulling you up. Good. Your head will fall between those arms. You should be able to see your feet. Great. Good. Good. On that pike, can you lift your heels as well? Great. To create more movement. Great. Good. Only a few more, then we're holding that plank for another 5. The pikes are looking great, guys. 2. Let's hold out into that plank. Let's go. Hold that plank out. Can we send some waves forward? So move those shoulders forward and back. If that feels too much, the plank hold is just as good. For another 8, you've got this. Can you keep that tailbone tucked under? Squeeze those legs. Squeeze the core for another 2. And 1. Nice. Bring the carriage back in. Great. So, take a sip of water if you need it, whatever you need to do, and we're going to start by facing the bathroom and start that arm series on the other side. Great. So, springs, we'll keep the same springs for now and then we'll change them later. So, kneeling, knees against the shoulder blocks. Short strap is in the right arm, and we're going to begin with that internal rotation. So, just bringing that arm across your body and back. The elbow is synced in with that against the waist as well, so we're not moving it. Keep that wrist straight. Nice. Good. Great. Good. Now let's drop for a second and change those springs. Just a reminder, blue is the base, blue, yellow as a challenge. And let's begin a hug the moon. So we're just gonna hug that beach ball and extend. So inhale, prepare, exhale, hug that beach ball. There's a micro bend in your arms and just your fingertips touch. And then you bring it back out. Nice. Now with this movement, can we tuck our tailbone and keep everything stacked? Good, nice adjustment. Good. Great. Now, can we add that rotation towards the foot bar? So as we bring it in, rotate towards the foot bar, and then bring it back to center and open those arms. Good. Can we try keep those elbows in line with the shoulder the whole time? The long loop is there if you need a modification, or if you want to go in a lighter spring, just pop your hand up. Nice. On that rotation, really feel the side obliques, and that rotation is purely coming through your ribs. You're not rotating those hips. Good. Great. Now, let's meet in that rotation in 2. 1, let's meet in that rotation. Hold that rotation in just little rotations. Let's go. I've said that word so many times. Okay, for another 5. 4, can you remember that? Exhale. 2 and 1. Good. Come down for a sec. You can shake out those arms, roll those shoulders, and we're going to swap the strap into the other arm. And let's just begin that external rotation. So let's start by having that arm bent, and we're just going to extend it out and back. You might need to go to the long loop for this movement, and that's okay. That elbow is next to the waist the entire time. Wrists are straight. Nice. Inhale, prepare, exhale, bring that arm out. Good. For another 4, 3, 2, and 1. Nice. Now let's start a pull the sword. So let's add that hip hinge. So we start at the bottom. As we come up, that arm comes across our body diagonal to the ceiling. Good. Shoulders are dropped the entire time. We don't let them creep up towards our ears. Nice. You should really feel this in the back. Nice. Remember that breath, the inhale and exhale as you come up. Great. Good. That hip hinge really allows you to drive power. So as you drive forward, you're using those hips to drive power to help you bring that arm up. Great, let's do a few more, then we're meeting at the top. You've got this. Another 5, 4, 3, 2. Now let's meet at the top. Can you hold that pull? Knuckles are up, drop those shoulders. Another 5. Can you tuck that tailbone under? Can you straighten that arm a little bit more? You've got this for 3, 2, and 1. Nice. Pop that long loop back on the peg. Grab that squishy ball wherever it is, and we're going to start that side split series. So when we're hopping up onto the carriage, platform foot first, always, and then the other foot can find the carriage, and let's just begin those side splits. You can just hold the ball in one hand for now and zip back. Oh, I'm so sorry, I forgot the springs. Yellow is the challenge, blue is the base, just in case you might want to even out the other side. Great. Good. Now can we tuck that tailbone under again? Remember, everything is stacked. There are 2 planes of glass against you. Good. If we want to add that overhead alternating arm, we can. So as we press out, pass the ball to the other hand and then bring it back in. Great. Great. Good. Great. Great depth, everyone. Great. Great. Now let's just do a few more, then we'll meet at the end of that split. Good. Great. Okay. Now let's meet at the end of that split and let's just do a hold, an isometric hold. So with this hold, tuck that tailbone under, squeeze everything in. Can you lengthen and look towards the bathroom for another 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Bring it in, nice. Now, we're going to begin the side lunge series. So you're going to lift the right heel, and let's just begin to lunge, holding the ball in both hands, and then come back up. Good. Really sinking into that left leg, push those hips back towards the road. Great. So good. So good. Good. If you'd like to add a ball squeeze at the bottom, feel free. So at the bottom, you squeeze that ball between the chest and then come back up. Good. All that weight is on the platform. Great. That other leg just stays straight and extended. Good. Great. Nice. Now let's add that rotation. So at the bottom of the lunge, we rotate towards the foot bar, bring the ball back in, and then we zip up. Try get that elbow to the opposite knee. Nice. And on that rotation, as you hold the rotation, maybe you can squeeze the ball, then bring it back in. Nice. Good. Good. Nice. The depth here is really good. Let's keep going with those rotations. Nice. Now let's add in that scooter. So we sink down, we rotate, bring the ball back to the front, one scooter, and then you zip up. Great. Remember the heel is lifted throughout this movement. Great. Good. Nice. Great. Now let's do a few more, then we're holding those rotations. Let's go. So just a few more. Let's do another one and meet at the bottom. So let's sink down at the bottom and just do those rotations. We're holding that lunge, we're rotating towards the mirror and back. Can you try sink a little bit lower? Great. Bend that knee a little bit more, you've got this. Just those rotations. Nice. For 2, 1, and now let's just do those scooters. So let's hold at the bottom of the lunge and just those scooters in and out. Good, you can squeeze the ball if you'd like, or just hold the ball, or even get rid of the ball if it's too much. Just in and out. Can you sink lower into that platform hip? Good, push the butt further towards the road. Lean a little bit forward. Good, scooter in and out, in and out. Tap out whenever you need, but we've got another 10. You've got this, you've got this. For another 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, nice. Okay, we're done with that ball. We can pop that ball to the side. We're gonna begin a front kneeling series. So I'd like you to come just along to the box, grab that magic circle. Great. So we're gonna grab that magic circle, and springs for this, blue is the base, blue, yellow as a challenge. So go wherever you'd like. Now we're going to start by kneeling towards the mirrors. Feet can fall in between those shoulder blocks. Great. Now we're going to just pop the short strap on the left hand, and then we're going to hold the magic circle with both of our hands. Great. So let's just begin an offering. So let's just start with kneeling, and we're just going to push the ball forward, the circle, and back. Nice. Now, if you'd like to begin this high kneeling, feel free to kneel off your knees and begin that offering. To create more stability, you can try have your knees a little bit wider than your hips. Great. And those toes can just touch. Good. Great. Exhale on that push outwards. Inhale, bring it back in. Good. Now, can we add in a squeeze at the top of that offering? Squeeze that circle, try and make it look like an oval, and then back. Great. I know this is tricky. Let's go. Good. Great. Nice. Nice. Again, the long loop is there whenever you need it. And I can also make the springs lighter if you'd like. So just flag me down if you need the springs to be lighter. So we'll just do one yellow, probably. Maybe you could try yellow high. Yeah. Great. Now let's begin to add that rotation. So as we bring the offering, let's rotate towards the road, bring it back, and then bend those arms back in. Again, on that rotation, let's try to keep those arms straight. Nice. And it's just a rotation from the hips. I mean the ribs, not the hips, not the hips. Good. Squeeze out. And let's keep that squeeze. So as we do the offering, let's squeeze in and out, then the rotation. Good. Great. Just a few more, let's go. And then we're just gonna hold those squeezes. Let's do, remember that breath as you push outwards on that ring, exhale. Let's go for another 2, and then hold that push for another 1. Let's hold that push towards the mirror, and let's just squeeze the ring in and out. Squeeze it as much as you can, in and out. You've only got 5, 4, let's go, 3, 2, 1, nice. Now pop that long loop back on the peg. Great. Now I'm actually just going to lift the foot bar up for you guys, and we're just going to start a quick wheelbarrow series to break it up. So you can pop that ring to the side, we'll use it later. Now let's start wheelbarrows, so hands will go on the foot bar, thumbs over the foot bar as well. Just like a little bit in line with the shoulders or a little bit out, feet against the shoulder blocks, and let's tuck that tailbone under and let's just hold a little bent plank. Good. And now let's push it all the way back, good. Now can you keep those hips like tucked the entire time? Great, yeah, there. And then bring it back in, all with the shoulders. I know we're supersetting arms, but I promise you'll be okay. Great. Nice. Inhale to prepare, exhale, send that carriage away. Great. Great. Okay, just another few more, then we're going to grab that ring and do the other side. Let's do one more. Hold it at the back, let's hold. The furthest you can go. Can you push back a little bit more? I know you can. Nice, Abby. For 2 and 1, nice. Bring it in, good. Now let's pop that short strap on the left, on the other hand. Let's hold that ring with both of our hands. Hands find the squishy part of the ring. You can start high kneeling if you'd like, or start low kneeling, and let's just begin those offerings. Good. For more stability, we can widen our knees a little bit. Those toes can meet in like a diamond. Great, and then back. Great. Those shoulders are dropped the entire time. They're not creeping up towards our ears. Good. Good, looking really good, guys. Now, can we begin to squeeze at the top of that offering? One squeeze, make that look like an oval, that circle, and then bring it back. Good. Nice. I know this is tricky. The long loop is there again, and if you need to switch springs, let me know. Good, now let's begin to add that rotation. So as we push out, do the squeeze, and then rotate towards the bathroom. Bring it back in, then bend those arms. Nice. You've got this. Good. I want you to still remember that squeeze at the top of that offering. Nice. Good. Let's do another 2 more. Good. Now let's hold the top of that offering. You've got this. This is the last of the series. Let's hold it and just do those squeezes. In and out. In and out. Can you tuck that tailbone under? Can you drop those shoulders a little bit? Can you make it look like an oval as much as you can? 3, 2, and 1. Nice. Really good news is we're going in the last series of the class and then we're done. So pop that long loop back on the peg. You can put the ring away. We won't need it. Now, this is an arms in straps series, mid-back series as well. So the springs are, I'm going to give you 3 options. Red, yellow as the base, red, blue as the challenge. Red, blue, yellow if you want a lot of resistance and you know you have that strength in your arms. Okay, so let's start by lying supine on the carriage. Head falls between the headrests. And let's grab those short straps in the hands, sorry. And legs come to tabletop. Let's pull some resistance on those short straps to hold the arms directly above the shoulders. Good. And let's just begin with some frontal pulls. So we just bring the arms to our hips and then bring them back. If anyone's springs don't feel right, just let me know. So inhale as the arms come up, exhale as you press them downwards. Good. Now, can we layer in an ab curl? So as you bring those arms forward, curl your abs, look towards your feet, and then back down. Yeah, you might need to shuffle out of the shoulder blocks, that's okay. Remember that exhale on your ab curl. Good. Nice. Nice. Good. Just wait for the music. Good. Now, if you'd like, let's add a single leg extension over the foot bar. Good. Point those toes, extend as long as you can. I want you to think about making that leg long. Great. Good. Nice. Good. Great. Looking so good. And on that ab curl, I want you to remember about flattening that back. Good. That entire lower back imprints on the carriage. Good. Now, if you want more of a challenge, maybe we can make this a double leg extension. Take it or leave it, however you feel today. Nice. Ooh, we're all taking it. Great. Good. Now, can we add a shoulder adduction? So at the bottom of that crunch, your arms are at your hips. Let's open those shoulders out to a T, bring them back, and then bring them over your shoulders. Great. If this feels too much with the legs extended at the same time, feel free to hold your legs in tabletop while you do the adduction. Good. Nice. So with that adduction, let's not let our arms touch the carriage. Try just get them a little bit hovering over. Nice. And the palms, the hands can face like that. Good. So it's like you're welcoming in a big hug. Nice. Just a few more. Another two. You've got this. Another one. Now let's find that lowest point with your legs and hold that crunch. Just hold that crunch. Can you find the lowest point with your legs? And now let's flutter them, scissor them, let's go. This is the last of your class, okay? So let's do 10 seconds. Remember your breath. Can you lower those legs a little bit more? Send more energy through those hands for another 5. You've got this. Can you lift those abs a little bit higher? For 2 and 1. Nice. Good. Pop those long loops back on the pegs. I have great news. It's legs and straps. So your springs for this is either red, blue, or red, blue, yellow. And then lie back down and pop those long loops on the arches of your feet. Great. If anyone needs any help getting in the straps. Great. You're good? Okay, let's just start with some straight leg lifts and lowers. Now only lift your legs to where your lower back stays on the carriage. I don't want you lifting them too high that you need to lift your lower back. You good? Yeah. Okay. Yeah, there we go. Good. Great news, you're done. So we're just gonna do some more straight legs lifts and lowers for another 5, and then we'll move into some hip circles for 2 and 1. Now let's open those legs at the top and bring them back down around. Maybe coordinate with your neighbor on this one. Good. Now let's just swap ways. So whatever way you're doing, let's alternate it. Great. Now, can we hold our legs at the top? Let's meet at the top. You can pull down on those straps if you'd like, just for a nice hamstring stretch. Good. Good. Just let your breath come back to you in this moment. Good. Now let's just get our legs to butterfly or happy baby, whichever one's comfortable for you. And let's start to close our eyes if it feels comfortable. I want you to find those breaths again. Remember that intention that we set at the start of today's class. I want you to remember it, and you achieved it, which is great. So let's just take a few more deep breaths, finding stillness again. Deep breath in, fill up that belly, and sigh it all out. And now I want this to be the biggest breath of today. Breathe in. Can you breathe in a little bit more at the top? Hold it there. Big sigh out. Now those legs can come out of the straps. Let's just pop those long loops back on the pegs. And let's just do a quick figure 4 stretch, because I know your glutes probably want it. Okay, so let's just bend one leg in, doesn't matter which leg, and cross the leg over the ankle. Great. Now you can hold under your hamstring if that feels okay, and bring that knee close towards your chest. Great. Now let's just swap legs. Good. And you're done for today's class. Thank you so much for joining me today. I'm just going to hand you guys a wipe. It's on your box. I just ask that you guys wipe down the beds, pop on all the springs, and thanks so much for joining me.